Hi guys, so today I wanted to talk about Capella University. I just finished the MBA program. I started on March 19th, 2019, and I just finished it on July 2nd, 2020. So that's exactly 15 months. So my experience, I thought maybe I just talk about it to help somebody that is debating and hasn't decided on what school, what program to take. The FlexPack is the one that I took, and for me, I found it very convenient. It's very flexible, like it is, that it's a flex path. If you're somebody that is working under the busy schedule, I think that's the right way to go, because for my undergraduate, even though I did a traditional school, all the work was done online, but I was still required to go to class. And I was taking a full load of 12 credits, so that was a lot of work. What I was taking in a week for the 4 classes or 12 credits that I was taking is what I was taking for the whole 12-week term at Capella University. So it was very easy for me. And then there isn't so much work. All you have to do is do the activity, which is like a quiz. It's not graded, but it's just to help you understand the work. And then you do the assignment. There's like on average, there's 4 assignments for each course. There are some like the financial accounting, managerial accounting for leaders, as I think 3, and then there were programs that had 3 assignments. But on average, most of them had 4, except for the Capstone experience, which is the project. That one had 6, and but you do it in 12-week period. So for me, I was taking, like, instead of taking 1 class, and then what I was doing is I'll take the 1 class maybe the first 6 months, 6 weeks. And then when I finish, I take the next. So I was taking 2 classes in the 12-week period. That way I was saving on money, because I didn't want to take 1 class for the full 12 weeks. Some of the classes like the leadership, business strategy, those are easy, so I was going fast. There are some times where I took like 3 classes in the 12-week period. All I did is focus on 1 class, finish it, then move on to the next one. The other thing that helped me is once I submit an assignment for evaluation, once I'm waiting for evaluation, I'll start working on the second assessment. So by the time the instructor gives me the feedback, if I've passed that class, then I'll just go ahead. I've already finished the next one. I'll just go ahead and submit it. The other thing that helped me is APA, because they require you to use APA, and it's required. So if you're somebody that is not familiar with APA, you want to brush up on those skills. It's not very hard. It's not very difficult. You can find some videos on YouTube. And then I think I just saw on the school website that they are moving to the 7th edition, because I was using the 6th edition. Now they're moving to the 7th edition. But there isn't much change. I don't know what is changing in the 7th edition, so you want to get caught up on that. But they have like the writing center that you can go to. They'll help you look at your paper and advise you. And so the other thing I would want to recommend if you are going to take this class is you have a complimentary membership with the Grammarly. You want to use Grammarly. That's what helped me a lot. After I finished the paper, I would use Grammarly. I had Grammarly installed on my computer. Capella University gives you that as a complimentary subscription as a student to just check your paper, proofread your paper. Grammarly does a very good, and I suppose the instructors use that too, so you want to take advantage of that. Instead of you going through the paper by yourself or paying somebody, you can use Grammarly and then the spell checker on where. That helped me a lot. It was very useful. And then the other thing is, for the program itself, the platform is very easy. I found it very easy to navigate. In fact, the orientation was more difficult for me than navigating the Blackboard. Blackboard was easy. Orientation was a little bit tricky for me to figure out what was needed to me. After I was accepted, they require you to do the orientation, and it wasn't easy for me to get through that. You really have to go. And then there's this orientation, like that, some kind of exercise that they want you to do and submit, and then you get feedback. If not, you won't be allowed to get into a class. The other thing that I liked is that they allow you to switch. You automatically register. Once you finish 1 class, you're registered for the next class. But one advantage is that you can switch the classes around. When you go to your academic plan, you have the option to move the classes around to the one you want to do next, for as long as the prerequisite, you've met the prerequisite. That was very helpful. all in all, I think the platform is good. Most of the instructors were good, except for one guy. I think he was the financial, the managerial finance. I think he's the guy that gave me a lot of trouble. He would keep, giving me a low grade because what I wanted was to get. In fact, for a record, I got distinguished on all my assignments throughout the course. So I made sure I got distinguished. I think I have my, yeah, this is my, let me just show you. This is my, whatever, this is the completion letter. They'll send you a letter after you finish to show that you've completed. And this from Capella University. So for business strategy, the leadership is not listed, I don't know. Business strategy, so is this your performance? You can see that I got distinguished on all the assignments in this course. Then applied business analytics. These are individual assignments for the class. See that I got the performance were all distinguished. Because for the MBA or graduate, you need to get either proficient or distinguished. If you get basic, it means you failed. You need to get the distinguished, proficient or distinguished. Distinguished is more like an A. And then the accounting methods for leaders. This is the guy that gave me a lot of trouble. Like, he would give me a low grade. I mean, a proficient, I wanted a distinguished. I'll redo the class and then he grades it and he says, oh, thank you for resubmitting. Oh, what instructor thanks a student for resubmitting assignment? So you can say that I got distinguished on all this marketing management. For the marketing management, there's a simulation that you have to do. So there's only 2 assessments on this course that you have to do, where you have to do I think it's a marketing plan and a business plan. But you have to go and do a simulation where you'll be logged into the simulation that you sign up and you have to run a company. You have to do everything. Do the pricing, the advertising, and it's basically like you're marketing a product. You design a product, you start marketing, you do it for like the whole simulation like for 8 weeks, but for us we did it for 5 weeks. So you have to make all those decisions, the pricing decision, advertising, promotion decision. It's more like just running a real company, and then after that you write the papers based on that simulation. So then for the supply chain sourcing, I got it distinguished on all the assessments. There are 11 courses in this. The operations management for leaders, you can see that I got distinguished on all the assessments. There's 4 assessments on this one. Then the leading global diverse culture, I got distinguished on that one too. Then the supply chain foundation management, you can see that I got distinguished. So on all these courses, I got distinguished, and that was my intention, to pass to come out when I finish the top of the class. Then applied managerial finance. This is the same guy I was talking. You can see that there's a GPA is equivalent to a 4.0 GPA, and then I think yeah. So this is these were my classes. I got distinguished on all the courses that I took. So if you're somebody that is planning to go and to pursue, if you are working a busy schedule, I would recommend I would encourage you to use the flex path, even though you have to have good time management, because there's nobody pushing you. And once you miss your assignment, you set your deadline. Once you log into a class, you set your own deadline. Let me see if I can access that. Okay. For security reasons, this is the class. But I finished the classes, so I don't have any classes listed. But for privacy reasons, I'm going to hide because I have the instructor's information up there. Normally, when you log into a class here, there will be will be an arrow or something saying go to class. That's where you log into your class. You click on that and it will take you to the class. I'm hiding some stuff for security reasons. This is how you log into your class, campus.capella.edu/home. I had trouble because I didn't know how to log into a class after I started, and so you have to go to the website. It's a little bit tricky, but once you log that makes it easy for you to log into the class if you go to that link. And so I don't have any classes. This is the Capstone class. That's the final class. It's a project. This is what the class, I know Capella doesn't allow students to show. So okay, I don't want to be penalized for showing the instructor's name. Okay. So this is my MBA Capstone. This was the final class. You see, this is where you set your deadline. When you log in, it will say timeline, set timeline. Or you can adjust the date. If you know that you're not going to meet the deadline, you can go there and adjust. But the first time you log into a class, you'll be required within the first 12 days, you have to set the timeline. So you set the dates for each. So what you do is once you log in, you have these assignments. Normally there are 4, but this was the Capstone, it has 6. There are 4, so you have 4 assignments. So you divide that time. This is a 12-week timeline. You can divide that into the 12, then you set the dates when you are going. If you can't complete it, you can easily move that date. So I'm not going to show you because Capella might penalize me for this, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what the classroom looks like. On top here, this is where you go to the class. See, you have the assessment 1, assessment 2, then you have home, announcements, introduction, syllabus, and on top here, you have the media. There's a lot you just have to it's very easy. It's overwhelming. I was anxious before I started, but once I started and I found out, having gone through undergraduate, because for me, for my undergraduate, it was hard because I had to go to class, even though all the work was done in Blackboard online. I still had to go to class to attend class. But what helped me is that the workload in my undergraduate is what I was taking a week in my undergraduate is equivalent to what I was taking in the 12 weeks, the whole term at Capella Invest, because for my undergraduate, I was taking a full load of 12 credits, which is four classes. And for each class, I had every week I had an assignment, a homework assignment, I had a quiz, sometimes a pop quiz, and then I have to do a team project every week. That's for one class, but then I had that for every other class for the 4 classes that I was taking. And you would find that it was taking up too much of my time. But with Capella, all I have to do is there's what is called an activity. It's not graded. So once you do that, it's just to help you understand the work, because they don't give you anything. All they give you, like I showed you, is a question. You have to figure out, but they'll give you the deliverables, what the instructor wants. The other thing that you really have to pay attention to is the formatting, because some instructors, they want you to go with the APA, even on the reports. They want you to do them in double-spaced. Others want them, they require them to go single-spaced. But in the MBA resources, you can go there. There are templates. I use that template but then you also go with the instructor, what the instructor asks you there, so it helps. So all in all, for me, it was easy. That's why I was able to go through that fast. I could have finished it. My target was finish it in 12 months, but because of that Christmas break, I slowed down. I think I was taking one class for the whole 12 weeks during that time. I slowed down a little bit. Otherwise, that's why I dragged on, because I was targeting the March graduation. But I missed that. I was supposed to attend the August graduation in San Antonio. I live in Houston. It is a 2-hour drive. Unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, that was cancelled. And so we have a virtual graduation. I just got my diploma last week. And if you are planning to go to take Capella, you're not sure the flex path, if you have good time management, you are self-motivated, is something that I would encourage for somebody, especially that is as a busy work schedule, because you can do the work you can do assignment at work, you can do them at your own pace. There's no time schedule for as long as you don't meet the deadline that you set. So what the other thing that I did is I have put up all the 11 courses that I did, the coursework. They were all evaluated and I got distinguished like I showed you. So I've put them up online if you want just to have an idea of, because one of the problems that I had is once I started the first class, I didn't know what to expect. And so I read the question, you don't know the instructor is not there to answer your question. They are very good at answering questions online, but most of them is like one sentence. They don't really go into detail because they don't want to give you too much. So when I started, what I would do is, because you have three attempts for each assessment. First attempt, second attempt, third attempt. They give you feedback, then you submit. So what I started doing is, I'll submit the first attempt, I'll write something and submit just to get the instructor's feedback. Once they give me feedback, that gives me an idea of what to go by. And then I would go and work on it. But after one or so classes, it was easy. I knew what the instructors were looking for. There are some that were a little bit tricky, but I managed. So what I did, all my graded assignments, I've put them up online. If you are interested, you can you can go online and look at them. I put them up so to help somebody, because I didn't know where to find these assignments or the way, but a lot of YouTube was helpful online. So you can go to this site here. This one here is gumroad.com/my MBA course documents. You can go to that site. It gives you access to all the 11 courses that I took. Like I showed you, that they are graded by instructor. So it gives you, just to get, I'm not saying, like you say here, plagiarism is not condoned. Don't submit. This is already submitted in Safer Science. So if you submit, it's going to show up 100% match, because Capella has moved away from Turnitin. They have their own system they call Safer Sign, where you submit your assignments, and then the advantage is they allow you to submit before you submit for grading, and then it gives you a feedback. It will even show you where they are matching and to even give you which document it matches, and then you can change them and then before you submit. So that's the other thing that is very helpful and very useful. What I did is I'll write an assignment by paper, submit it to Safer Sign, look at it, make changes wherever I needed to make changes, resubmit. You can submit as many times as you want. It's not submitted to the instructor. When I know that it's cleared in Safer Sign, then I would go ahead and submit it to the instructor for evaluation. So that and Grammarly helped me a lot, and that's why I was able to get. So you can go, like I said, you can go to this site, Gumroad. It's GUM and then ROAD.com/my MBA course documents. I have all the documents, my assessment for the 11 courses that I took, because I was taking 11 courses for the MBA's 11 courses. So each course has all the assignments that I submitted. Now, it's just to help you understand the formats and layout and just how to answer. Because that's the other problem, is you don't really know how they want you to answer a question. Because what they do, they give you the questions and you have to go and answer. But by looking at somebody's paper that has already been graded, you may not have the same instructor, but that gives you an idea. So if you want to get an idea of, I have all these assignments here. You can go there and look at them, and just pick on, you see my name. You can even, if you can see, if you have the same instructor, probably you'll be lucky. So you're looking at exactly what that instructor is looking for. So all the courses that I did over here, of course for a fee. I'm not putting them out for free. And I'll put up videos for just some tips like this on some of the things that that I learned. I can't put them in this video, but I'll put up some videos just to help somebody. If you sign up, then you have access to. So each class gives you access for the 12-week period, because the class is 12 weeks. So once you sign up for this class, it gives you access for the 12-week period. So you can go ahead and look at it. MBA Leadership, that's the first class you take, and I have all 11 courses on here. So all you have to do is just add it to your cart, and then you have the course if you want. It even lists the assessments. These are the assessment titles, each course. So this is MBA Assessment 1-1, 1-2. If I was asked to redo the assessment and I resubmit it a second time, you'll see it to say 2-2. So I'll give you the actual graded assessment where I got a full grade. So once you are here, you can then add it to your cart, and then go ahead but I also have let me see, the completion letter that has my grades. If you want to look at it, you can view it on the post. That's where I'll put some of the tips. I'll do some of the tips about the course. I'm going to write up some tips just about, so you can view my completion letter here. But I'm also going to put some posts for, once you log in, you have access to the post that I put here. Then just to give you some tips on the course, or even if you want to send me a question, not to answer a question, but you want something clarified, you send me a message. I may be able to answer it and post something here. That is, if you subscribe. So, in a nutshell, that was my experience with Capella University. For me, it was very easy. One, because APA, I took APA in my junior college. I went to a technical college, a Delaware Technical and Community College for my junior college, and it was a requirement. You had to take APA for the whole semester. It was a class on its own. So I took APA. So that made it easier for me. Two, my undergraduate, I did a traditional class, but they were using Blackboard. All the work was online, but we still had to attend class lecture. So it made it very easy for me this was very easy. It almost like I wasn't going to the class. I was spending more time on the library, like on weekends and in the evening. And you can go to this site and look at, I have these have all the assessments on here. There's all the 11 courses and all the assessments. Once you sign up for one class, you have access to the assessments, the 4 or whatever assessments are for this class. You have access to my papers. These are not like to answer. They may change. They may have, of course, time they review their syllabus, so the questions may have changed. But this is just to give you an idea of how to answer your question. So you can read some of the companies that I used. You can use it. You have to use your own company. So for the Capstone, the project Capstone experience, I used Motorola. For the other projects, I used Costco and HP and those companies, because I worked for HP. So at least it was easy for me to write about the company that I know. And that's what they probably recommend. And so, all in all, this was, if you are planning to you are not decided yet, Capella is the best way to go. I don't know about other courses. What I wanted to do is maximize my money. I didn't want to spend so much. I think all in all, I've spent like almost just below 15,000, because I made sure I took 2 classes instead of taking 1 class for the 12 credits. I took 2 classes each thing, so that cut down. Had I taken it in 12 months, I would have spent maybe the 11,000 that they recommend. But I went just over that, just below 15,000 for the whole course. And I got my diploma last week. I was supposed to have gone for my graduation. So this is Derek. This was my experience with the Capella FlexPack MBA program. I finished it in 15 months from March 19, 2019 to July 2nd, 2020. I got my diploma. Normally when you finish that class, they say your graduation is listed at the last day of that month. So my diploma lists my graduation as July 31st because I finished on the 2nd. And then within a week, I got my diploma. And so this is Derek. So go to my website if you are interested. I know there are other places where you can find those courses, but I'm not too sure what you are going to get. This one guarantees you are going to get the exact thing from Capella. You can see the instructors and it's just to help you understand, because that's a problem I had. I didn't have anybody to ask. I would ask the instructor, but most of them were very short answers. They say, yeah, read this, and they wouldn't really explain. There's only one guy, the accounting guy, the finance guy. At least he would go, even though he was the most difficult instructor I had, but at least he was good. He would explain more on the things. There are spreadsheets, especially like the finance. Now there's a spreadsheet that you have to do where you have to calculate some things. I have it in there, so those answers are there. If you go, you subscribe, you might have access. If you get the same exact question, you might actually have the answers. The answers in there. I did a spreadsheet where I did all the depreciation and all those things, the net present value stuff. The spreadsheet is in the paper. So thank you. I hope this has been helpful. If I'll post more videos about my experience with Capella. My name is Derek. You can go to my site, gumroad.com/my MBA course documents. That's Gumroad is GUMROAD.com at my MBA course documents. And then you have access to all my 11 courses and all the papers that I submitted and I graded or evaluated for, and I got the distinction. Like I said, I got distinction, which is like a 4.0 GPA, or distinguished for Capella. So I hope this has been helpful. My name is Derek, and good luck in your journey if you decide to go to Capella.